they might just start walking back straight towards you, looking straight at you, even if you've already said not to. Again, I promise you, it's gonna happen if you don't tell them. And even if you do tell them, sometimes you're gonna run into scenarios in which they will not understand. But it is what
like
it is.
Facing away from us, it was like the looking through your eyes part that I was kind of struggling with. But I can easily just add that in. But that was just something that stood out to me from Academy. Was like, make sure you're looking through your eyes.
Yep.
Yep.
It's definitely a necessity. As
Okay.
much as it doesn't seem like it is, it is.
Yep, Eric had us try it like without looking through our eyes, and immediately you'll see why you need to look through your eyes.
He understands it. From my understanding, Sterling is saying it's something that likely doesn't need to be communicated.
Oh, okay.
Right. Am I understanding that right, Sterling?
Yeah.
You understand the general concept. It's just, yeah, listen,
People
sometimes
should
it be
know.
what it be. It be what it be.
I can
Yep.
easily see that being an issue now that I think about it. So I'll take that precaution and just make sure, hey, driver, step out of the vehicle facing away from us. Make sure you're looking through your eyes at all times. And then giving them orders, obviously, to the units on scene, whether it be somebody in the safest location, generally probably to the wherever the sidewalk is. Get them to walk over, 2 steps to your right, 1 step backwards, and then relaying if they're too far away. Obviously, go ahead and take comms, and then once when they've stated 195, 95 secured, move on to the passenger. If the cabin's clear and there's not a passenger, rotating clockwise, uh, going towards the cabin, clearing the cabin, calling that code 4, making sure that there's somebody on the trunk, communicating that we're going to open the trunk, giving them the opportunity to step out and surrender. If there is somebody in the trunk, getting in the cabin, just clearing it for persons, not conducting a search, and then relaying the cabin's code 4 and when we're going to open up the trunk. And then when it's the trunk's cleared, I would call the high risk stop code 4 and then pull everyone out the vehicles and conduct the investigation from there.
Okay. Perfect. I'm not gonna lie. Genuinely, I'm impressed between the two of you. I'm impressed.
I try to retain knowledge like a sponge. I try.
That's good. Very, very good. Okay. Let's go with a negotiation. What are things that we are absolutely under no circumstances allowed to provide as part of somebody's, demands for the safe release of a hostage or any negotiations, really? What can we not provide under any circumstances?
PD equipment.
Another person, the release of a person.
Not wrong. What else?
Does a PD vehicle, is that included under PD gear?
I mean, it falls under the same category of we're absolutely fucking not giving it to you. But
Right.
to answer your question, it would be separate, but it is separately like categorized, I guess you could say. But falls under the same category of like, you ain't getting it. Ain't gonna matter. Ain't gonna provide you with the tank. We ain't gonna provide you with the gun. We're not gonna provide you with the means of, sort of doing anything additional to potentially harm somebody. But what we will give you is, free passage to the vehicle. We won't immediately spike it. Just as a means of delaying them potentially doing anything, egregious.
Evidence is one of those things as well. Like, we wouldn't return any evidence.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we're also not going to, if they say, I'm going to shoot this person if you don't release somebody from custody, I'm sorry, but it's not going to happen. We're also not going to be, giving anybody money, right? Like, these are things that are just never going to be allowed on the basis that if you do it once, it becomes something that they expect is going to happen and expect is the norm. And then we have now sort of verified that we're willing to do this if the circumstances warrant it. And now they're going to utilize it as a means of doing shit that should never happen. That makes sense.
Yep.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Oh, 100%.
So
100%.
that information would spread quick between these criminals.
You're not wrong.
And
And
then
I
next
feel
thing
like
you know, they're going
sometimes
to do that every time.
I feel like people would. I can see that just being a thing. You know, I would think that I wouldn't ever run into anyone requesting $50,000, but now that I'm thinking about it, I wouldn't be surprised if one day somebody tried asking us for cash.
Um,
Has that ever happened?
in the past it has. I don't know if it's happened recently. I want to say it has, but I don't actually no, maybe that was a while ago. I don't know.
I've kind of
Maybe
a
it was a
weird
while ago.
question for this.
Ask away.
Would we be allowed to give them, say, like food and water?
Oh yeah,
if they ask
absolutely.
for it? Okay.
Absolutely. And that also wouldn't be like, okay, typically we sort of like, you know, in the past people would bring multiple hostages in exchange for multiple demands.
Right.
Then there was a point in which we made it very clear, like, it doesn't matter if you bring one, it doesn't matter if you bring 100, your demands and what you can request are going to be the same. You're not going to get anything egregious just because you have 100 people. Does not now mean you get a tank. Okay, it does not mean that you can now start requesting money. Like, yes, it's a very severe situation, but again, you have to think of it long term. If you start telling people, if they make it severe enough they get absolutely anything they want, it's going to keep happening. Now every situation has become a 100-person kidnapping situation, bomb threats, whatever, as a result of allowing it that once.
Yep.
But yeah, and the food, like the point I was trying to get at, sorry, I'm getting off track here, is that food and water is not something that we would like let be one of their demands, just because they ask for food and water to ensure their safety. Like, listen, we ain't trying to upset the people who got guns and are threatening a hostage's life. If they need food and water, we'll give it to them. If the hostage needs food and water, we'll.
But
Yeah, no.
Is that like okay to give them?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But also, you're not going to be the person to like go in there and hand it to them if they got guns and whatnot, because we don't need an officer to now be a hostage as well. You can drop the food off at the front. They can go and pick it up. If they make it clear that they don't want to take the gun off the hostage, you can then tell them, listen, you can either have the hostage go and grab it. You can have, one of the people involved here come and grab it, but you are not going to be the one walking in, handing them stuff.
Right.
We don't need you to be an easy target.
I'm going to throw it over the car and try to get as close to the door as possible. They can deal with it after that.
Okay. What about... Trying to figure out what else we should go over. We've gone over quite a bit. I don't want to go over absolutely everything. Though from what, we've gone through, y'all are relatively good for the most part. So I do think y'all are good for the most part, SOP wise. You know what? I'm going to call it there. Primarily because my blood sugar's going low, so I'm gonna have to go grab something to snack on here in a moment. But prior to that, do y'all have any questions as of now? Anything you're not fully confident with? Anything you just want additional clarification on? Whatever. If you have a question, feel free to ask.
Not at the moment.
All right.
I think the only thing I did have a question about is actually in the announcements for the vehicles.
Which announcement?
About the vehicles. So it doesn't say anything about like CVPIs. So I'm not sure if, say, we did become a PPO, would we be able to purchase our own CVPI?
Give me a moment. I believe there was a separate announcement regarding vehicles. Hold on.
Yeah, there's two different ones. Okay, it does actually say here now PPOs are able to purchase a Vapid Cruiser, which is a CVPI.
Which one is that under? Is it the same announcement?
No, it's under personal government issued vehicles. Comes to a report 1631.
Okay, that's. I was gonna say I'm fairly certain it did indicate PPOs could buy that, and at the time that was the only one being considered for like purchase, prior to the Taurus and the Scout and whatnot.
So I'm gonna be honest, some of these cars are pretty fucked up.
Not some of them, just about all of them.
Yeah,
truthfully, it's actually fucking atrocious. I'm not gonna lie. It is a crime that we have yet to receive funds. I actually spoke with Etta, who told me that she is waiting for federal approval because I think the general cost is going to be something like $300,000 to get them all replaced. And obviously before, you know, spending that kind of money, that needs to be approved. I'll be real. I told her, listen, in a single fucking day with first degree speeding citations, I could fund a vehicle repair on my own every day. Without a doubt. Not a question in my mind. Finding people at that, all we need is the damn access to the funds that we're generating as a result of citing people. Easy.
I say basic vehicle repair, if you have to pay like, even say on the high end, $1,800 a day, that's not terrible. When it comes to engine replacement, it's like $12,000.
12 grand, yeah. And listen, I love my job, okay? I love my job, but I'm already paying $1,800 to sort that shit out on a daily basis. I'm not paying $12,000 to then the following day have to deal with another broken car because people are unwilling to. No, thank you. I'm okay. It sucks that I have to spend 3 hours on my shift every day dealing with the repair costs. But in saying that, I will say this: we're gonna go check the status of the car we had, and if it is in need of repair, which I'm gonna be real, may not be the case because although we were out for quite a bit, a lot of it was in Mission Row. Now, standard procedure, obviously, you take a car, you repair it, but we truly have not been out all that much in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
Let's go check that out. Go check that out.
I don't think we had any 50s, and we didn't really do any like high-speed pursuits.
So the way it currently stands, if you were to write speeding tickets, Officer Rhodes, does that fine not go towards our budget?
No, it goes to the state, who then determines our budget. Yeah.
Oh my lord.
So yes,
that might be a good thing though, actually.
But indirectly. By the way, I'm not sure if y'all are aware, we get 15% of fines we issue.
Yep.
Well, I mean, on a real note, like, as we're officers have high levels of integrity, I would gotta assume that, you know, the fear of us writing tickets for the budget, you know, if anything, it'd help with situations like right now where we can't even afford basic repairs, let alone our cars are fucking cooked. Excuse my language.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I remember the other day, Barrick and I went, Barrick wanted David and I to get repairs, and both of the engines were like 62 to 72% total.
Ugh.
And he was like, yeah, if you guys want, you can get them replaced too. I was like, fuck no, no offense, Barrick. But
which one's ours? Where'd y'all park?
Should be right here.
It was 4354 is the last four. Yep, it is.
All right, perfect.
Oh, she's still beautiful. But yeah, this one.
Yeah, this is absolutely not being repaired. This would cost $1,500. Ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Yeah,
this engine.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I pulled this one out and parts wise it was good, but the engine is rough.
Did we get out of first gear today?
Yeah.
Barely. Remember when I asked if you were intentionally slowing down? Or if you had your speed limiter on?
There was a Taurus last week that was in worse condition than this.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
That poor engine.
7,500 miles. 75 hard miles.
Uh-huh. Ooh. Yep. But no, we are not going to... this thing isn't getting repaired because it is pretty much in its best state possible. Here we are. Go ahead and... We do need this refueled. Unfortunately, I do have to dip. 'Cause like I said, I have to go snack on something because my blood sugar's getting a bit low.
Okay.
But overall, y'all did great today. I will ensure everything. I'm not going to do it right now. It'll probably be in a couple hours. I will put up your FTO reports. I'm gonna be real. The only thing I wasn't really able to evaluate here was pursuits, but radio comms, at least referencing, the initiation and end of a 38 were great. No issues there. Few hiccups which we've already identified during processing. Outside of that, I mean, y'all are very, very good at communicating for the most part. I ask you guys questions, right? Just like the, would you continue shooting essentially, or what would you do after the vehicle is disabled? Vehicle's the weapon. Sterling, you say one thing. Larry, I'm glad that you are not a yes man and just agree with whatever's being said, and vice versa. If y'all have a difference of opinion, y'all are making it known, which is really important, because people who just become, a yes man that just agrees with the person next to them, assuming that they're right, tells me that somebody is not confident, answering things, and are sort of just agreeing with the next person because that's their best, their best option.
Right.
You guys actively having or communicating stuff is super important. So, good shit.
Communication is our best weapon.
I agree.
That's true.
I will 100% agree. Sterling, Larry, to be clear, this is nothing against you at all. You are great in traffic stops. But Sterling, when you are typically left behind with people, you are very, very personable, engaging in many different topics throughout a traffic stop that may not necessarily have anything to do with our job. But at the end of the day, right, the one thing I made clear in Academy for traffic stops was you do not want to show up and just say, license, registration, proof of insurance. You want to engage with them. You want to have a back and forth. Larry, you did the exact same thing. Obviously, if you're the one conducting the stop, you have to go back to the vehicle, run their information. But I heard Sterling continue on with conversations, again, completely unrelated to stuff. And the other thing I really appreciate is you making it clear to people that it's not about, sitting there and finding them. It's about ensuring that everybody stays safe. So really, really solid stuff there.
Thank you for that, sir.
No problem. Somebody does have to get this refueled if it is not refueled. And after that, y'all are good to go.
All right.
Y'all did good.
Thank you.
I've been more hopeful with this round of cadets than I have any round prior. I'll tell you that much.
We told you guys at Academy we were going to be the ones to set the precedent. And I think
Outliers.
every single person has stuck to it.
I'm glad. I'm very much so glad that's the case.
We're going to get that photo that we wanted. Barrick said we can't take the photo until we all get PPO. So
That was going to happen.
we want the class photo.
Good shit. All right. Who's gonna fill this with gas?
We can go together for officer safety if you don't mind.
Sure. Works for me.
That works.
Works for me.
Driver you want to.
You can drift.
Make sure you lower the hood.
Thanks for the feedback, Rhodes. I really do appreciate it, and your time as well, taking us out tonight.
Yeah,
Not
thank
a
you very
problem.
much.
Not a problem.
Look forward to more sessions in the future, or just general patrols.
You know
in general.
what? Hopefully you don't need many more sessions. I'm gonna be real. We get you out there on some pursuits, and at the end of the day, if we can't get them, maybe we can do some mock pursuits just to get some comms out, verify a few things, and I think y'all are good.
Heck yeah.
If you ever want to do a mock pursuit, we could use my personal vehicle, but I'm going to be honest, it is way faster than anything you guys have in this garage.
It's in 60
Regardless
vehicles
of
everywhere.
that, if we did utilize it, we wouldn't necessarily need to push it to its limits.
Yeah, I know. Just messing around.
Cool.
All right, listen, y'all stay safe out there, okay? Just
right.
make sure once y'all return, make sure you put everything up in your locker. Make sure y'all swap out of your uniforms.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure y'all announce your 42. All right.
Thanks, Rhodes.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
See ya.
All right, Rhodes, have a good one.
Ow, my leg.
He doesn't look too good. I wonder if he's going off duty because of the injuries or his blood sugar. I will call it 76 to strawberry.
All right. Chat, I do actually have to call it. Good old blood sugar is low. Diabetes. All right, chat. I am calling it. Rhodes with the boot knife. You know, it's funny. That was actually seized from a suspect. And I just didn't know where to put it. But chat, thank y'all so much. 130, 42. Thank y'all so much for all of the support. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for the follows, hosts, rates, bits, donations, subs, gifts, subs, resubs. I say this each and every time. I genuinely cannot have asked for better community to be built around this channel. So thank y'all for being absolutely amazing. If y'all haven't already, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Curvyelephant. Join our Discord, discord.gg/Curvyelephant. If you enjoyed what you saw today, drop me a follow on Twitch. I'd appreciate that as well. I'm going to get y'all sent off to somebody. NoPixel.hasroot. I typoed. Fuck. NoPixel.hasroot.com. I'm going to send y'all to Chem. Yes. There we go. I'm going to send y'all off to Chem. Chat, go show her some love. I will be live tomorrow. And I hope to see y'all there. Yeah, y'all have a good one. Peace out.